They ended up locking me in their goat barn overnight, where I slept with the goats, cried and screamed.
Austin Lake was 4 when he landed in a foster home. It was no better than the home he'd been taken from.
The foster dad, he never called me by my name. My name was Bastard. It just reminded me or made me feel unloved.
After 2 years, Austin went back to live with his mother, where violence, neglect, and drugs ruled the home. Then, at 8 years old, he experienced another life-defining moment. His mom was murdered by her boyfriend.
My grandma looking over at me, just tears all in her eyes, and she said, "Honey, your mommy's dead." It was just like every bit of emotion within me just died.
Sent to North Carolina to live with his aunt and uncle, Austin spiraled into rebellion. At 16, expelled from school, entrenched in the gang life, and addicted to pills and alcohol, he tried to kill himself.
I was in my room one night, and I grabbed a bandana, and I tied it around my neck as tight as I could until I felt like my Adam's apple was in the back of my spine. And at the very, very last minute before I faded out, I wussed out.
Austin's aunt and uncle checked him into a mental hospital where he was diagnosed as bipolar. The sedatives they prescribed became his escape from the pain inside.
So I would save him up, and I would snort him, or I'd pop him, and I would stay high. So I was so angry at myself that I didn't do anything for my mom. I was angry at myself that I didn't protect her.
Austin's mental issues and rebellious behavior escalated, leading to him being placed in a group home. While there, he caught a felony assault charge for fighting and was put on probation. He soon joined a gang, started selling weed and popping pills, until his drug use landed him in rehab. By the time he turned 18, Austin had aged out of the system and was left with nowhere to go.
I'm sleeping in alleyways, I'm sleeping on, staircases in apartment buildings. And this one day I'm walking the streets and I'm just angry, I'm hollering at God. I just want to die, Lord, please take me out. I don't want to live anymore.
Even then, Austin would wander in darkness for another 10 years, living a life of addiction, crime, and violence. He also had 2 sons by 2 different women. He knew he was destroying his life, but felt powerless to change it.
When I would look in the mirror, what I saw was darkness. I saw a sad, miserable, angry, evil young man who just was lashing out at everything and anybody that would come near.
Then at 28, he landed in jail after taking a plea agreement for domestic violence. One night, a cellmate had a question for him.
"Well, what do you think about God?" And I looked at him and I says, "I know that there's a God. I know God's real." I says, "But let me tell you something. God doesn't have anything for me, and I don't have anything for God."
Over the coming weeks, Austin says he heard God's voice.
And I can hear my name in my heart being called, like Austin, like a very small, still whisper, peaceful and quiet. Austin. And at first I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm finally going crazy. I've been in here for almost 45 days. I am going crazy.
The whispers, however, continued, and Austin felt God compelling him to read the Bible. Although resistant at first, he finally started reading and came across Matthew 11:28.
"Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." And when I read that verse in the old King James version of it, I broke. Something inside of my heart just broke, and tears were running down my face. And at this moment, I hit my knees. I threw my hands in the air, and I told Jesus I needed him. And I gave my life to Christ on August 23rd, 2021, in the middle of a jail cell. In that very moment, everything within me changed. Everything. I stopped cussing. I stopped desiring pornography. I stopped desiring drugs. I stopped desiring alcohol. I stopped desiring the evil of life.
Even then, Austin remained haunted by the life he'd live. Soon after, he had a dream he was chained in a prison cell with other inmates when Jesus walked up to him, unlocked his chains, and washed his feet.
He was renewing me. He was setting me free. And the Lord was telling me, I have forgiven you of all of these things, and I don't remember one of them. And it was that moment that I realized that he deemed me worthy of forgiveness. So I'm worthy to forgive myself.
Austin says God told him to read the New Testament 3 times. It was late at night when he finished. Moments later, the guards called his name. The charges had been dropped, and he was released.
Leg, pack your stuff, you're free to go, was nothing less than a miracle.
For the first time, Austin was free from the pain that had ruled his life. Today, he's a devoted husband, works a steady job, and shares joint custody of his second son. He's also a youth pastor whose brand, Forgiven Skateboards, spreads the gospel to the skateboard community nationwide.
God will never give up on you. You could run 1,000 miles over again and he'll still be right there beside you, waiting for the day faithfully for you to come back. His arms are always open. He can and will forgive you, and he wants you to. Come and accept that love. The real love that you've been searching for resides in Christ.